as a smoke investigation. When myself and our brush crew arrived, had a fire in kind of a crotch of a canyon, and it went from about the size of this building to about 10 acres, probably in a couple of minutes. At that time, we had some crews from Stimson Lumber Company come in with a couple of flatbed trucks with water tanks, and before they could even decide how to park them and deploy them, we were backing up and moving to another place. And that happened like, I don't even think I got my door shut in the vehicle to get out, and I moved again. At that point, it was pretty obvious that this thing was going to get really big really quick. We've seen some fire behavior that I've never seen. When the fire exploded, basically what happened was instead of it getting the wind and trying to go one direction, it went 360 degrees, and from there it set spot fires about 400 or 500 feet out in 360 degree pattern. So it made it pretty difficult to try to get a handle on, well, if we got over here, we can deal with it. And so we kept moving back, getting safer ground so we could continue to deal with the troops that were already there. We had a crew from Gaston, as well as a couple from the forestry that actually got cut off from everybody because of the fire. They had another way out, no big deal in that respect, but it was a little spooky when you can't see them. You know they're there somewhere, and you just hope the heck that they are driving out of where they're supposed to be. At that point, the state forestry was engaged big time. They had their crews coming in, but at that point we couldn't even pick a line to work with because the line changed about every 2 seconds. And trying to figure out wind patterns, the slope was nearly impossible. At that time, knowing that we were still playing catch up in the evaluation, we ended up putting, first of all, and I'm sure your folks are aware of it, Stepping Road went on a level 3 evacuation. The reason for that instant decision there, we had the fire going in every direction. You all were the closest initially, and there's no real access between that fire and Stepping Road. So it was one of those, you kind of grit your teeth before you say it, but if you don't do it, you'll never catch up. And that was what we did not want to happen. At that point, we brought in, first of all, besides our own equipment, we brought in a strike team of brush rigs from Washington County, which that gave us 4 brush rigs and a tender, and that was instant. I mean, we asked for that right away. Brought them to the incident, put them on the fire line, right where the cats were starting to make a break to keep it from doing there. So they stayed engaged in that until the next morning. Also, because of the fact that we had concerns about Stepping Road, we brought in a strike team of pumpers to deal with the structure issues should they occur. And that strike team was basically fully funded by TBF&R. Things were short enough resource-wise, they put together an entire strike team of their pumpers and shipped them here. So they were on the first 12 hours as well. And their job was to be there if things didn't go the way we liked. And fortunately that didn't occur, and that's really, really good. So definitely want to thank those people, TBF&R, the strike team of brush rigs, which is really a common occurrence for us. If we need instant help, no matter what it is, whether we go to multi-alarm or we ask for something specific, it's all inside the county. It's a matter of me pushing a button on the radio and I have the troops rolling. So with that group, you know, instantly we had departments from Cornelius, Forest Grove, Hillsboro, and TBF&R in that brush group. So boom, they were there. And I can't remember the exact time because it was kind of getting toward dark. Myself and Chief Cousins, who's the Fire Defense Board chief, met and had to make a decision. Are we going to be able to deal with this by ourselves, or if this goes south, what's going to happen? And basically my decision was, right now things look really good as far as the area of Scott Hill Road and Scoggins Creek. But if that fire was going to move like it had been moving, there's no way we have the resources to deal with that, so we enacted a Conflagration Act. And I won't get into the details how that works, but when that phone call is made, a lot of stuff happens. It is amazing. So anyways, we did that, and that way, when that happens, you no longer see Gaston apparatus there after 8 o'clock in the morning, because we still have to take care of our own. And not only do we not have the resources to do an event that large should have gotten there, we still got a responsibility in here. But during the act of the fire, when we were initially there, we had another department here, so nobody was left without protection and service. Our system is very efficient to take care of that. Forest Grove supplied us with a public information officer right off, because you can only imagine with that much smoke, we had a lot of questions. And so that was good to have that fielded, dealt with. I could keep my mind on what I'm supposed to be doing. Also, I would thank the Sheriff's Office, because not only did we have news media, we had a lot of people. And we want everybody to be informed, but there are some places you just can't be when those events take place, and so they were awesome. I even had, at one point, it was after dark, I don't even know what time it was, a sheriff's officer pulled up, popped his trunk open, and handed me a sack of hamburgers, which really tasted good because nobody had eaten at that time. So yeah, and we had them wherever we wanted them, whenever we wanted them, and as many as we needed, without question. So those kind of things, a big thank you, but you need to know that that takes place all the time, somewhere in the county. We're a very lucky, blessed county for resources, and we're also pretty lucky that we get along really, really good. State forestry, police, neighboring fire departments, we have no issues. If we do, they're minor, but they're not usually between us, it's usually amongst ourselves. So that part is really good.